The boy remembered what happened 3 weeks ago. He was opening a delivery from the hospital, checking what he had received. He wasn't expecting much, but his clothes looked like trash, and it seemed he wouldn't be able to use that item again. When the user's life is in danger, their body is covered by magic to prevent the worst. At that moment of danger, he didn't realize the item had activated in his pocket. That item was crucial for him to leave the incident without more serious injuries, but the power he felt afterward. He's not sure if it was also a side effect. It's easier to believe that than thinking he has some hidden power. Since the item is quite expensive, it's plausible that it has another type of effect. That's when it finally hit him. The boy had lost a very expensive item. Looking more closely at his hand, he's sure. It's the same sensation he felt last time. He doesn't know why it's happening now, but he's certain it wasn't a result of Enkel's blood. Anisha asked how much her cousin offered and suggested he switched sides because she'd pay triple, and then some. Seren told her to stop playing the people, because those offers are offensive. But the girl said it's not a joke. She simply made a valid offer to a potential client. Even if he's inferior, he was able to defeat a second-year student from the school. It's strange that a prodigy like him isn't known. There must be a reason he didn't enter the school. That most problems can be solved with money, and that's all Seren has to offer. Nothing more. Good connections, reputation, and talent aren't her strong suits. The girl was about to suggest her cousin was offering her body. The protagonist said she offers him patience, and her someone trying to sabotage his friend's career. He doesn't know how hard that experience must be. But he's certain that the person who talks behind her back causing problems must be a mediocre person who is nothing more than a bucket of crap. Since they're sisters, Jerry, I'm assuming she must know who that person is. After being passively provoked, she dispelled her ability. She had no choice but to cancel that week's meeting. The girl became with them, said they had already invited other classmates. Anisha sent her friend his way too kind, since she just witnessed all of that and still had the audacity to worry about others. Those who are coming are seniors from the school, and they're going to crush the extra on the ground. There was just a way to build connections with the student council, but it seems she only wasted her time. It would be better to forget what happened that day. Seren made sure to tell the protagonist that they're cousins. If he can't be bought with money, then surely he already has something in mind that he wants, and he better be clear about it, because it's going to affect his school life. Jerry was about to say something. Goes pulled by the arm. It was his friend asking him to stop. He wanted to provoke that Mage a little more, maybe he could get a fight out of her. Seren wants to prevent him from drawing attention from that woman because she knows she has no limits. Now that he's got her attention, hell is going to begin, and gossip will be just a start. Jerry realized that strange sensation had now vanished. It disappeared along with that girl's magic. Maybe that power appears when he senses magic. Seren saw that he was quite distracted and asked if her friend was okay. The boy is now sure that he needs to learn how to use magic immediately, and the extra is still feeling pain from what happened. That's when Shiwul King spoke to him. He thought he was being friendly, but his presence is really threatening to anyone. Even the extra already knows the reputation of this student and doesn't know what he's doing there. Carry On went to him to apologize. He confessed he wanted to test something, but didn't mean to embarrass him. That was the extra's own fault. He acknowledged his own mistakes and even went further, saying he wasn't able to do anything. He had been quite arrogant without knowing who his opponent was, the hero, who avoided a great tragedy, and he's relieved nothing worse happened. Jerryon doesn't know if he would have won if it had been a real fight. The extra became offensive, but the boy said they're not so different in terms of strength and speed. But he was able to notice his opponent lost control emotionally, executing attacks that were too simple, so it was easier to read through his strikes. While the extra was unconscious, Jerryon watched their fight several times. His opponent's weight distribution is a strong indicator of what he'll do in battle. Maybe he's already aware of that, but Jerryon made a point of organizing the material so the extra could review it. Seren is sure this will leave their senior very surprised. That kind of evaluation isn't something he can buy, it's only possible because Jerryon is extremely detailed-oriented and has amazing intuition. And indeed, The bodyguard is stunned. He can barely find the words. Geryon said he doesn't care about what happened because they already worked everything out and he holds no grudge. They're here to train and he hopes this information will help them resolve everything for good. Letting him know that once he finishes watching the video, he can leave his number so Geryon can send him the full material. Geryon doesn't believe the extra's friends just left him there unconscious. Chilking also thought that was a despicable attitude. Since a lot had happened, they needed to refocus and begin their magic training. Mana is just fuel for casting spells. Each person's magical status represents the quality of that fuel. Geryon how to imagine it worked that way. His friend explained that humans and elves basically have the same amount of mana. Reusing the analogy, coal doesn't burn the same way as a pile of paper. The quality of the fuel is fundamental and determining which spells can be used. She's at level C, the minimum for those who want to become mags since it's necessary for offensive enhancement spells. For those boys, what they have is enough for self-enhancement enchantments. Geryon is already very enthusiastic and asked if they'd be able to learn all that in one weekend. Seren will never get used to that level of enthusiasm. The beginning takes 1 to 2 weeks, but someone said they could help with that. As long as they were comfortable with the idea, that is this poor extra specialty, performing enchantments that enhance the user themselves. After a few moments of practice, Geryon managed to produce an F-level enchantment, a small flame. He was quite surprised with his own progress, but the extra told him not to get excited just yet. It would be strange for someone so talented not to be able to do that, since it's a simple skill. A little more cheerful, he asked if he should make the flame stronger or try to learn how to produce water. He was advised to keep focusing on that flame, especially on its core. Feel your own magic is a very stupid piece of advice. It's hard to feel something they're not used to doing. But now things are different, since he was able to extract mana and transform it into fire. That's the true first step, because magic was awakened for the first time, so we should explore that sensation to better understand it. Keeping the flame lit, you should feel the mana flowing through his body, only then will he be able to notice what changed. Not even the extra expected all that progress. Worst case scenario, they would need the whole weekend. Geryon said he could feel something sharpening at delicate, like static electricity in the lower abdomen, spreading through his whole body. His instructor confirmed that's the right feeling, and pressed that it only took him a little over a minute to reach that point. The sensation is incredible, as if his whole body were made of circuits. He imagined there were about 50 until he realized they numbered in the hundreds. The human body has 2 fundamental parts that deal with mana. The center located in the abdomen and the adjacent circuits responsible for distributing it. There are 127 in total. Sarah asked if the mountain of muscles could play any kind of instrument. He said he played piano until he was 10, but doesn't think he has the talent to be a musician. She said that's great then, because what she's going to teach him is very similar to playing the piano. She demonstrated a D-level spell, a lightning sphere that isn't lethal, but can paralyze the enemy. She didn't need a chant or make any complicated movement to cast the spell. Magic isn't as complicated as people think. Most enchantments happen without the user needing to move their body. It's like playing piano. Just press the right keys in the right order at the right time. The circuits in the body are like piano keys, and the magic is the sheet music being read through those circuits. It's all about timing and precision. That's how magic is used. He asked what happens if he misses the timing of the sheet music, worry that there might be side effects. Simple spells are cast even if small errors are made, but the quality changes. Sarah couldn't help but notice how scary his expression gets when he's focused. The harder the spell, the greater the chance of failure. It's casted, and correctly. As she said that the electricity began to grow significantly. In that case, there are consequences for failed execution. You misspell like that, which is simple, can paralyze its user. More complex spells can demand an even higher price like life. That's why mags need protection on the battlefield. Focusing on execution under stress is harder than it seems. She knows the boy already feels his own mana because he's been practicing for a while, but he still can't feel the circuits in his